You ever witness something so unfair that your hands start shaking, but you're too scared to move? That was me, 18 years old, sitting quietly on a crowded city bus, when a group of grown men decided to shove an old lady just for laughs. They thought no one would stop them, but they didn't expect karma to be sitting behind the wheel. If you've ever wanted to see instant karma in real life, and I mean real justice, hit that like button and subscribe, because the story, it's one of those rare moments where the universe steps in and says, ordinary morning, unexpected cruelty. It was one of those chilly mornings where the sky still looks half asleep, pale gray, with the faint hum of traffic echoing through the streets. I was on my way to class, earbuds in, sitting halfway down the bus. The air smelled faintly of coffee and rain-soaked jackets. Next to the front door stood this elderly woman, tiny frame, silver hair pulled neatly into a bun, clutching her shopping bag with both hands. You could tell she'd been raised in a time when people still said please and thank you. She smiled at everyone who passed, even though most didn't notice her. Something about her reminded me of my grandma, kind, patient, soft-spoken. Then the bus stopped, and that's when they got on. Angry-faced the antagonists enter, the laughing hyenas. For guys, probably early 20s. Loud, obnoxious. The kind who think the world's a stage and they're the stars. You know the type? The cheap cologne hits before their voices do. They stumbled in, laughing too loud about something no one else found funny. At first, I tried to ignore them. But as they walked past the old lady, one of them, a tall guy with a leather jacket and a smirk that screamed trouble, bumped into her shoulder. Not just a nudge, a shove. She stumbled forward, gripping the pole to steady herself. Her bag fell, and oranges rolled across the bus floor. I froze. My stomach twisted. He didn't even look back. He just laughed. Red heart the moment I snapped. Something in me broke right then. I don't even know why. Maybe because she reminded me of my grandma, or because I've seen too many people just stand by. Before I knew it, I was on my feet. Hey, you should apologize, I said, voice trembling but loud enough for the whole bus to hear. The old lady looked up at me with these kind, tired eyes, a mix of surprise and fear. The guys turned and laughed harder. Oh, what's this? The bus hero. Leather jacket sneered. Relax, sweetheart. It's just a joke. A joke, because humiliating an old woman was funny to him. I felt my cheeks burn, but I didn't back down. It's not a joke. You pushed her. His smirk vanished. He took a step closer. The bus suddenly felt too small, his shadow blocking out the light from the window. You should shut your mouth, he said quietly, leaning in so close I could smell the alcohol on his breath. Or maybe you and Grandma over there get off at the next stop. The fear and the silence. I froze. My heart pounded so hard it hurt. Around us, the bus went silent. No one said a word. That's the worst part, the silence. You start wondering if you're crazy for caring. I glanced at the bus driver in desperation. He was watching through the rear-view mirror, eyes narrowed. I raised a hand slightly, not waving, just a small gesture, a quiet, desperate help me. Collision turning point. When karma took the wheel, the bus screeched to a stop. The driver stood up, this big guy, mid-40s, with tired eyes that suddenly burned with anger. He walked down the aisle, his presence alone commanding silence. What's going on here? He demanded. I started to speak, but the old lady beat me to it, her voice soft but steady. These young men push me, she said, and threatened this girl when she told them to apologize. The driver's jaw clenched. He turned to the guys. That true? Leather jacket snorted. Man, we were just messing around. Don't make a big deal. Apologize. The driver cut in, his voice like steel. They laughed again. Wrong move. Balance scale to justice. Off my bus. In one sharp motion, the driver grabbed Leather Jacket by the collar and yanked him backward. The guy stumbled, completely stunned. Off my bus, the driver said. The others froze. One started to protest, but the driver was already moving toward them, pointing toward the door. All of you, out, now. For a moment, They stood there, puffed up, trying to look tough. Then reality hit. Everyone on the bus was watching. Phones were out. The tough guys' smirks vanished. They stepped off the bus, muttering curses under their breath. The driver shut the doors behind them with a hiss, like punctuation on a sentence that said, "Karma delivered." The bus erupted in quiet claps. The old lady smiled at me, tears in her eyes. "Thank you, dear," she whispered. But honestly, I wanted to thank her, because in that moment, I realized what courage really looked like. Dizzy the aftermath, strength and reflection. When the bus started moving again, I sat beside her. Her hands were trembling slightly, so I helped her gather her things. She told me her name was Margaret. She was on her way to visit her granddaughter. She said softly, "People don't stand up for each other much anymore. You're a brave girl." I smiled, but my heart still raced. I didn't feel brave. I felt shaken, and yet there was this tiny spark of strength inside me, like something had woken up. The driver glanced at us in the mirror and gave a small nod. "You did good, kid," he said. "Don't let punks like that scare you." For the rest of the ride, no one spoke loudly. The world outside seemed calmer, safer. Looking back, I still feel a little bad, maybe because things got so intense. But more than anything, I feel strong. Sometimes, doing the right thing doesn't look heroic. It looks like standing up, even when your voice shakes. Because courage isn't the absence of fear. It's doing what's right despite it. Moral takeaway. We live in a world where cruelty can be casual. A shove, a laugh, a threat. But kindness? Kindness is never small. It's contagious. It reminds people that decency still exists, even on a crowded bus. And karma? Well, sometimes she wears a bus driver's uniform. If that moment of justice gave you chills, hit that like button. It really helps the channel out. And tell me in the comments, what's the most satisfying real-life karma you've ever seen? Don't forget to subscribe for more stories of everyday people standing up and watching karma do the rest. Because sometimes the world does make things right.